Hi, Liz here, and we are at EMOs Creative Studio, where anything and everything you create is beautiful because you created it. And today we're going to talk about Teflon heating sheets. So let's get started. So I like to use fusible interfacing or fusible felt on my projects, especially when I'm making bags or purses or some kind of accessory. Sometimes I'm a little sloppy and I don't cut my interfacing the same size as my circle. So what is happening is when I'm ironing my fabric to my interfacing, I'm getting some of the gooey substance onto my ironing surface, and I don't know if you can see really good right here. Let me get you closer where my finger is. Right here. I've already messed up this particular ironing pad. I tried to scrape it off as much as possible, but I've got some gooey glue stuff stuck on my wool pad. You can see it right there, So upon research and looking around and seeing what I could use besides parchment paper, because after reusing my parchment paper, I get the residue sticking onto the parchment paper. What I've done was purchased something called a Teflon coated heat transfer sheet. And this is a sheet. It's used to iron on sticky stuff to protect your ironing surface. Now, this is not the same as applique heat transfer sheet, because the applique heat transfer sheet is very see-through, and it's see-through enough so that you can iron your pieces together when you have a pattern. You slide your pattern underneath the sheet, and then you put your cutout pieces that have the adhesive on them over that, and you put your pieces together. I'll throw a picture in to show you what I'm talking about. So what this sheet does, it allows me to iron my iron-on interfacing that has the glue on the bottom, on the back, on one side of it. As you can see here, it's all bumpy. That's the glue, and then this is smooth. Now, of course, I cut it a little bit different than the size of my circle, just because I did. You know, I wasn't paying attention. I think I got this far enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fabric down, pretty side or right side down on my heat-resistant Teflon sheet, which is up to 500 degrees resistant. Now you notice there's a shiny side and a dull-ish side. I generally use the shiny side up. So I'm going to put my fabric down, put my fusible interfacing gluey side down to the wrong side of the fabric, and then I'm going to have my iron, and I'm just going to press, not iron, I'm not going to drag my iron back and forth, I'm just going to press my interfacing onto my piece of fabric. Now you see when I'm ironing, everything is just sliding around. Do you see how it's not staying glued onto my ironing surface? Oops, that's what I get for pulling it. And as you can see, my interfacing is attached to my fabric, and as you can see right here, there is no gluey residue. Now what I will do is I'll go ahead and trim this up and get rid of this extra piece so that I can continue working on my project. Do you see how I have a little bit larger edge to the interfacing, but it's glued down really well? Let me show you another one. Here we go. Interfacing is larger than my piece. fabric onto the sheet, the Teflon sheet, and then just press, following the instructions of your fusible interfacing. Now this Teflon pad, I got it online from Amazon. You can find it for about $6 up to $15 on whatever online site you purchase from. I don't really recall how much I paid. I bought a box of 3. So as you can see, I was able to lift this up. No sticky residue. And my item is ironed on. My interfacing is ironed on. Really nice and clean. I really like this product. This has saved my wool mat from getting messed up. It's nice and warm. I could still iron, press, whatever, but this Teflon sheet has saved me quite a bit. Again, if you are on a budget, you can use parchment paper, but you'll be going through the parchment paper because it's maybe a one-time, two-time use. And I would go through the whole roll because I'd have to crinkle it up and throw it away because the glue would stick onto the parchment paper. This sheet, I don't know, what is this? What is this? It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 by, I think it's a 16 by 20 sheet. It takes temperatures up to 500 degrees. This particular sheet can also be used for heat transferring logos onto t-shirts, and I also believe that this sheet can also be used for baking. I really like this. I really recommend it. There is no specific brand. I think this is even an off-brand. I don't think this is even a brand name. I just picked something that was relatively inexpensive. So until the next time, I'm Liz. We are at EMOs Creative Studio, where anything and everything you create is beautiful because you created it. Subscribe, share on social media with your friends. My social media information and my email address will be down below. Until the next time, happy sewing, happy quilting. Bye.